Do you recommend making a bed with banks or just a level flat bed?
It's really a personal choice. Some people do have banks and others don't. I think either way, as long as the bed's the right depth, that's what really matters.
So are Bedmax shavings also made in the UK?
Yes, they are. Yeah, we make them in our own factories. We've got 3 factories, one in Northumberland, another one in Nottinghamshire, and a third one down in Hampshire.
Already tipping the shavings out, I can see that they're quite dust-free. I don't see any dust coming off them yet. Is this something that Bedmax focus on, having dust-free shavings for the horses?
Yep, that's always been our priority, absolute top priority, to eliminate as much airborne dust as humanly possible.
I can see these shavings are quite big flakes. Is this something that is designed for a reason, or is it just how they're cut?
No, that's deliberate. We've always made a proportion of our flakes bigger than I think any other shavings available in the UK. And that's because they offer more resilience, they're tougher, they're springier, they give more support. They also create a sort of a drainage layer on the surface of the bed.
I like how this probably doesn't get stuck in the horse's feet either, so it's quite clean around your yard. Because I find a lot of finer, smaller shavings do compact in the feet, which also isn't very hygienic for the horse. I find actually using a straw fork can help, because you can get right in and then fluff it up. I find sometimes the shaving forks are a little bit difficult to use with them, but I think that's with anything. I do like to muck out these beds with rubber gloves and a bucket though. Better than you save a lot more shavings. They smell really clean, and I know they are clean, but they do smell really fresh and nice.
That's because of the pine we use mostly to make the shavings.
And there's no dust coming off them. Like, I'm really moving them around now and there's nothing, so this will be really good for the horses' airways. And I think a lot of competition horses as well, you've got to watch the airways, and they need dust-free products.
So those 8 bags that you've used in this stable have really fluffed up into a good deep bed.
Yeah, because this stable's huge as well. So I would normally have quite big banks, and as the week goes on, as the base gets smaller, I do bring more of the banks in, and then I would put more clean shavings around the banks. If you're mucking out how I would with the rubber gloves in the bucket, so you're only taking out the poo, and then you're taking out the wee, if you do it once a week, or if you take it out every day, I would say 1 to 2 bags max. You wouldn't need any more unless you had a really dirty horse, but it's a very big bed. Yeah, there's like no dust, and I mean, you can normally see sometimes the dust coming up and there's nothing. When you're putting shavings down with horses, sometimes I don't like them to be in the box just because of the dust in the airways, but this, I'll be more than happy to have my horse down in here when I was doing this, because the air is really clear.
That's a real compliment, Amelia, but we would normally recommend actually that horses should be out of the box when you're mucking out and changing the bedding.
So I've noticed that there is some bigger and smaller flakes in the Bedmax.
Yeah, every bag of Bedmax contains about 30% of larger flakes, and then 30% roughly of sort of medium-sized flakes, and then 30% of the small flakes.
Is this why it makes it dust-free, because they are larger, the flakes?
Yes, to a certain extent. The larger flakes don't break down as easily and therefore create more dust. But we vacuum, extract and screen out as much of the airborne dust as we can, the smaller particles of dust as we can, throughout the production process.